So I may have to go out and get my toolbox, but I'm hoping I won't need to. Goes. I think that's what the sticky things were for.
What?
To keep the bottom from sliding.
Oh, that
when
might
the door
be.
when the door is open, it's going to want to slide.
Okay. Yeah, so she's, anything you can tell her about this as far as maintenance and stuff, it'll be great.
I can certainly do that, and she can certainly call me. I'll leave the invoice here with our phone number and everything on it. And I'm not sure she has a card, so I'll leave a card too. I just got to run to my truck and grab one. All right, to wind it, there are 3 winding arbors. I'm sure she's familiar. The one on the right is for the chime, the quarter-hour chime. The one in the center is the time that makes it run. And the one on the left is for the strike on the hour. And you just wind them until the key stops. You'll see it, you'll feel it when it does stop. There is a little level in here to make sure the clock is level. Okay. And once you get it wound, you just go ahead and get it running. And when I level it, I listen for it to be a nice even tick-tock. Because sometimes over years of use, the pallets will need a slight adjustment. And if it gets too bad where the clock looks like it's hanging at an angle, I can certainly come over and just make a quick adjustment to do that. Otherwise, the level is in here. But the best way to get the clock perfectly level is to listen for the nice even tick-tock. So if it sounds like tick-tock, 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 then the balance is off. So you want to just move the bottom of the case in one direction or the other until you hear a nice even tick-tock. And it's slightly off, so I'm going to make an adjustment while I'm here.
Should I get something else for behind there? Is that the problem?
I think it'll probably be okay as long as they hold the case. So they might want to put, what I do with my clocks is I put just a tiny nail on either side, right here in the corner.
Okay.
That would be my recommendation, but with people that have wallpaper may not want to do that.
I'll show them.
But that's what I do. And you know what's even better than nails? Just get the thumbtacks that go in cork boards.
Okay.
Just pop those in on either side. And that'll hold it in place so that when the door is open, it doesn't go flying. So I gotta make just a tiny adjustment here. You can see I'm just skidding the bottom of the clock over just a hair until I hear the nice even tick-tock. So that's a nice even tick-tock.
Now, is there any way for her to change the chimes or anything, or is that
the chime? To change the chime, it's over here. Right now, it's on. Let's see. It's Westminster, St. Michael, Whittingham. The one thing I have to recommend, some people, and I think I just did it myself, never try to move this chime lever until right after it strikes. Because from the 10 of to the strike, and it's in every quarter hour, so you really have just a very small window. you'll see what just happened with this lever. It just got a little bit loose. So I would recommend not moving this lever at all until it just chimes like it did. Then you can move this lever. As you can see, it'll stay in its position. But if you try to move it between that window, it's going to lock up and it's going to feel like it's loose and it won't move.
Okay. So after it chimes on the hour?
Every one of the quarter hours, because it chimes on every 15 minutes.
Okay.
So if you're going to move that, rod to make it chime a different tune, you would wait until it's done striking.
And then move it. Okay.
Yep, and then move it. And sometimes it takes a couple of times of going around for it to sort of reset itself, especially after it travels. They don't like traveling very much, and that's why I like to deliver them as opposed to people picking them up. So that was Westminster, and I just moved it up to St. Michael's. And whenever you want to advance the hands, go very slow until you hear it click, until it starts to strike. If you go too fast, it will sometimes skip, so you won't hear the quarter hour chimes, or it'll get off. So if it doesn't skip, or I'm sorry, if it doesn't chime here, and you move it over here, then you could have it chiming on the half hour when it's showing over here. And there's a way to self-correct that by just moving it past 2 locations where it strikes. So if it's ringing the 3/4 hour but showing the hour, you can just simply move the hand to where it's going to strike next. So if you know it's going to strike the hour next, you can simply go all the way around before it stops striking. Most of the time I tell people you don't want to move the hands while it's striking. That's the only way to get it back on track if it's off for the quarter hour. But first time you wind it after it runs all the way down, let it run for 2 hours before you try to adjust the chimes in the hour, because it is sometimes self-adjusting.
Okay.
All right. And again, all my information's here. I know this is a lot to take in, so certainly can call me anytime. And that was the half hour, so it is now 4:30, so I'm going to leave it there. And it's on the St. Michael. Again, if you wanted to put it on a different chime, now's the time to move it after it just finishes striking.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to run out to the car and grab a card to leave it there. So just general maintenance, I can leave you a little slip for that as well. So you want to get it oiled every 2 to 3 years. You just call me up. It's a $45 house call. I'm in and out of here in less than 30 minutes. And you do that every 2 to 3 years. It's like changing the oil on your car.
Okay.
You want to have the service that I just tried to provide, but her chime rod was broken. So the one that I just did, which I replaced the movement, was to try to quote unquote clean it and overhaul it, clean all the mainsprings and all that. It's highly recommended you have that done every 7 to 8 years. I think you can go farther than that. I think you can go probably 10 or 12 years. Certainly if I'm looking at it when I'm doing the oiling every 2 to 3, I will know, if it can be extended out or if it needs it. And what that does is get all that old dirt off. So all the dust particles that are in the air collects where that oil is. So the oil that keeps it friction free collects it, and it turns into a sandpaper and it starts to cause damage. So that's why they recommend every 7 to 8 years having it cleaned. But it's a very, very nice movement that's in it. It should give them many, many, many years of enjoyment. The best thing you can possibly do for it, though, is get it oiled every 2 to 3 years. Fresh oil. And that's $45 and 35 minutes, 34 minutes.
Excellent. Right. She'll be very happy to have that back home.
Yes. So I would recommend putting something in here, the little push pins to keep it from sliding around.
Okay.
Wind it once a week, same day every week. And if any questions, let me know.
Okay.
So sometimes when you let the clock run all the way down, although it is fully wound, so the time should run down first. But if the chime or the strike runs down first, it may strike on, we'll say 8, but it's showing 4:30. Again, go around, let it run for 2 hours and go around. And if it's still striking off by a couple of hours, we'll say, you can simply just move that hour hand to the correct number, right? So when you move it to the, we'll say 9 o'clock position and it rings 9, that hour hand is not connected to anything. It's just press fit on the cannon tube. So you can just take it and move it in either direction. It's not going to hurt anything. The minute hand, you always want to go clockwise. and you always want to stop going past each quarter hour,
Okay.
going very slow past each one of those to make it strike properly.
Okay.
But the hour hand is not connected to anything.
Okay.
It's just press fit. The tick-tock sounds wonderful. So let me get my card